In the past year, more than 100,000 employees of the world's largest IT giants have found themselves out on the street. We used to think that robots would take over the hard labor, that the machines would do the work, while we, the humans, would focus on creating. Remember that old promise? We expected them to carry boxes, drive taxis, and handle everything that requires physical toil, leaving us free to produce art and philosophy. But the reality has turned out to be exactly the opposite. Today, artificial intelligence paints pictures, writes code, and composes symphonies. Meanwhile, a plumber named Vasily turns out to be better protected from this digital revolution than a smoothie-sipping designer with the latest MacBook. It's an irony of fate, isn't it? Today, we are going to break down this chaos. I will name 3 categories of professions that are guaranteed to disappear in the coming years. And I will give you a list of 5 immunity skills. If you have them, you will remain highly valuable in the labor market no matter what happens. If you don't, well, I have some bad news for you. Let's be realistic. Who is first in line for the unemployment office? Category number 1. Routine white-collar workers. Data entry, basic accounting, simple spreadsheet analysis, and drafting standard contracts. In the US, vacancies for this kind of routine office labor have already dropped by 25%. And this is only the warm-up. If your job essentially involves moving numbers from one Excel cell to another, consider yourself already fired. They just haven't told you yet. Category 2. Customer service. Forecasts suggest that by 2026, up to 75% of customer inquiries will be handled by bots. Even now, talking to a live operator is becoming a luxury. If you work according to a script, the script will replace you. This is a vital realization. Category 3. Content generators, translators, and copywriters. Google Translate already translates technical texts with over 90% accuracy. Chat writes articles faster, cheaper, and often better than most freelancers. When I first saw these numbers, I, as a content creator myself, was concerned. Then I realized one fundamental thing. AI isn't killing the profession itself, it's killing the old, mechanical, shallow version of it. A lawyer who just copies templates is a dead end. But a lawyer who conducts complex negotiations, understands the psychology of a judge, and builds a defense strategy, that person is worth their weight in gold. A financial consultant who just Googles doc tips, goodbye. But a consultant who understands your personal risks and builds a long-term strategy for your family is irreplaceable. AI replaces the function, while the human remains, where relationships, trust, and unconventional solutions in conditions of chaos are needed. The real world is chaos. Try explaining to a neural network that a pipe in an old building doesn't follow the blueprint, but goes through a neighbor's bedroom where a grandmother and her cat are sleeping. Robots are still too clumsy and expensive for those kinds of tasks. So if you know how to work with your hands in chaos while engaging your brain, you are safe. Another safety zone is empathy. You cannot Google motivation. AI has learned to say encouraging phrases, but it doesn't know how to look into your eyes in a way that makes you feel like you can fly. It lacks that spark of humanity that defines so much of our world. What should you do if you don't want to become a plumber? You need to cultivate skills that I call hard currency. First, empathy, understanding what the person across from you is truly feeling. Second, presence, personal contact, and energy. We are still biological beings, and we depend on the impression a person makes on us. Third, ethics and opinion. A machine has no conscience. Decisions and responsibility are your authorship. Fourth, creativity, the ability to create something fundamentally new. And fifth, leadership, the ability to inspire people to follow you, especially when things are going wrong. Your greatest asset, which cannot be copied, is your personal brand. Think of the market as an airport in a thick fog. The fog is thickening. That's the information noise from I. The dispatcher says, those already in the air, keep flying. Those on the ground, takeoff is prohibited. For those who already have an audience and a reputation, it will be much easier. You have 2 to 3 years to take off. You don't need millions of followers. You need a few thousand people who know and trust you as a human being. Tomorrow morning, take 3 steps. First, ride the wave. Learn to work with AI. Your goal is to cut the time spent on routine in half and become the one who orchestrates the machine rather than fighting it. Second, become a hybrid specialist. Deepen your expertise in your field, but add a cross-disciplinary skill. A marketer who knows code or a doctor who understands data analysis is the new elite. Third, start building your brand right now. Document your journey. Post once a week about what you do and the problems you solve. The future is not a war of humans against machines. It is a symbiosis. The winner is the Centaur, the human plus artificial intelligence. Understanding this is not enough. You must act. And acting is hindered by old habits and inertia. I have recorded a separate video on how to build a system of habits that works on autopilot. It's about triggers, environment, and micro steps. That is the foundation. The link is on the screen. Watch it and implement it. Until next time. Goodbye.